man named Balaam was a contradiction, a renowned prophet who knew the voice of the Almighty, yet whose heart secretly prized the glint of gold. He sat alone that evening, not in prayer but in calculation, weighing the spiritual cost against the stunning reward that King Balak of Moab had offered to turn his blessing into a curse. The temptation was an acid in his soul. Fear, heavy and cold, had settled over the plains of Moab. King Balak, watching the advance of the tribes of Israel, sent his most respected emissaries, led by the elder Hadar, carrying the spiritual currency, silver, and a princely fee. They sought not prophecy, but a transaction, a spiritual weapon for hire to stop an army. Balaam heard their petition, his mind already calculating the weight of the offered silver. He went to his lord that evening and received a command, clear and final. You shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for they are blessed. The answer was a wall. No ambiguity. No loophole. He delivered the news to Hadar the next morning. The Lord has refused to let me go with you. He spoke the words truthfully, but his tone was clipped, omitting the critical context, the reason for the refusal. He wanted them to believe the negotiation was merely stalled, not finished. Hadar, a skilled diplomat, carried only the refusal back to Balak. He understood that a prophet who omits information is a prophet who can be persuaded. Balak, desperate, doubled the offer. He sent a second delegation, more numerous, more distinguished, bearing a bribe that whispered of palaces and power. Balaam saw the second arrival. His heart pounded not with spiritual excitement, but with the fear of losing such a monumental reward. He declared to them, though Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the word of the Lord. It was a flawless performance, but the prophet had already cracked. He could have dismissed them, but the scent of gold was too sweet to let go. Tarry here tonight also, he instructed, that I may find out what more the Lord will say to me. This was a spiritual gamble, a desperate plea for a revised answer. This was the man who already knew the divine will, pleading for a revision. God, in an act of profound, ironic grace, or perhaps a warning against the dangers of a divided heart, appeared again that night. The prophet was allowed to follow his self-deception. The message was altered. If the men come to call you, rise and go with them, but the word which I say to you, that you shall do. It was permission laced with peril. God had given the prophet enough rope to hang himself, allowing him to follow his greedy heart while still maintaining control over his tongue. Balaam did not wait for the messengers to call him. The first ray of sun found him saddling his donkey, eager for the journey and the reward. He saw only the path to riches, unaware that the Lord had already put a divine safety brake, a slow, patient, talking safety brake, on his road to destruction.